together.
Right, let's have a look. I'm very confident this is going to work. Let's see. Yeah, baby.
We are live.
I think we is live.
Massively live.
Smooth as silk with that. Look at that. And that's without having Rolly Ray.
Jeez, magical.
No technical director required.
He's not on the bench in Malta still, is he?
Is he all tuckered out?
No, he's in Malta. I mean, he shouldn't get tight. I have this conversation with Ray a lot because bearing in mind that he's actually only 12 years old, he shouldn't really get tired. Number one, he shouldn't be drinking. That's the point. Number two, I'll allow him the cat thing, although he should be supervised, ideally, by a responsible adult. And I've seen the woman he lived with. She don't look responsible. You know what I'm saying? We'll leave that. But yeah, Ray, technical director, guys, and I just want to say that it's now 3 minutes after the scheduled start time of Fix, ladies and gentlemen, episode 95.
95.
95.
Big numbers.
Crazy.
He's probably locked himself out of his wardrobe.
Yeah, technical director's not even here. It's nice to see that you're sporting an Armwars Ironhouse top there, James.
Yeah.
That's a
nice.
great bit of merchandise. Where could
I'd be wearing
something like that?
I think you'd have to go down to the link in the description and you can get all your Armwars needs right there.
There you go. There you go. Apart from money, which we need more of.
Yeah, we'll exchange you, in fact.
Yeah, you will.
That is the deal we'll do for you.
You heard it here. James will tell you what he'll do for you. I won't do it, but that's just another thing that James will do. For the cause. Hey? That's a shading and everything, so you can't get a good grip. I mean, you used to have longer hair and you could
it's gone. I'm aerodynamic now.
Well, I like how you've really taken to the role of technical director there, James, and got a cat.
He got the cat and everything.
Yeah,
Well, the cat's away.
Yeah, there you go. You see, it's a different angle.
Oh, yeah. Just wants to smuggle that asshole off.
They don't want to see your chucky starfish, but they put your rusty bullet hole down there.
Ray, at least Ray doesn't show his cat's assholes.
Awesome, isn't it? Because you
all about free love round here.
All they tune in for is a little bit of cat asshole. That's what you want, isn't it? Sunday night.
I'll just give him some tuna, thinking that it'll keep him occupied. And
Let's get a Chinese takeaway and a couple of beers and look at some cat's assholes. Amazing. Hey,
there's been any arm wrestling this weekend.
We will, but we're just waiting for the ninja to come in, and he's just about to arrive, ladies and gentlemen. Here he comes now. It's Ryan Blue Bowen.
Hey.
Say that. Ryan sent us a message before this, and he said, "Guys, I'm having a bit of technical trouble. I've got 4 inches of rain where we are in Australia."
Looks like he's done the same as me. He's ditched his camera and just gone off his laptop.
I'm going straight off the phone today. So yeah.
An unusual angle though, mate.
I'll sort it.
It's working.
You like it?
Yeah.
Makes you look bigger looking up here like
that. Yeah. There you go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to kick off the show and talk about some arm wrestling very soon. We've already had our first super chat from Mythagoras. He's put, is there a chance we will see the return of the famous Arm Wars Vegas balcony?
Ooh.
Do you know what, mate? I would love to go back to a suite on the roof of the MGM Grand because it was a truly lovely, lovely experience. Really, really was. And you never know. But to be honest, in the current situation, I think it's going to be a while before we're back in the US. We gotta find our feet where we are. Most of the shows that we're planning at the moment are going to be UK based. I'm speaking on behalf of Arm Wars, although JC Jason is here. I'd have to say that we thought that Ironhouse was a pretty good concept. That was vision on the future because it was a unique, wasn't it? It was good.
Oh, absolutely. I cannot wait to start getting that footage into the editor.
Yeah. It's going to be cool.
I'm so excited. It's brilliant. All the problems that we had with reality check with the Arnolds, there's none of them. There's none of them. So everything's, I'm just really excited to start getting the footage.
I mean, there was a few of them. We still had quite a few wankers.
Yeah, but
That's true.
You know what I mean? And next time, so
we brought him here.
we got Ryan coming
That's how it falls.
potentially for the next one as well. So we'll have more Aussies, possibly Lachlan Adair. You never know. Anyway, enough of that rubbish. Let's roll on to what we're here to talk about. Last week, we had quite a big discussion about the benefits, the pros and cons of pulling against high-level competition. And I think everybody was in agreement that there's no real problem involved in it. And what happens? Fate comes and slaps you on the ass because the sort of nightmare scenario presented itself. For anybody who's in the chat who doesn't know, serious injury suffered for KERSTEN Prodigy, which is really, I really feel for the lad.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, forget everything else. The amount of effort that KERSTEN had put into the show, just trying to make the thing go.
Right.
With the major aspiration when you spoke to KERSTEN outside of the show, and I don't know whether any of you, sure you probably did, Ryan, because I know you've been bouncing things around with him about potentially coming over to Oz to do stuff. But his aspiration and major objective was to really ground the sport in Malta and to get people, you know, just to see the sport. And to be fair to the lad, he put a lot of efforts in. And for a first-time show, I don't know what you guys thought. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
The production was absolutely fantastic. He
Yeah.
put a lot of the guys who've been doing it several events now, put them to shame.
Yeah, it's a real shame. And for the guy to get sort of bitten by the sport in that respect in the first round, I mean, I'm not saying it matters what round it's in, but it's just all the more he didn't even get chance to showcase himself, really.
Yeah.
Really feel for the lad. So
Well,
KERSTEN Prodigy, heart goes out to you.
I think, you know, for me, you got to look at the future with this. Obviously, this is a big blow. This is very difficult to come back from, but you got to look to the future and look at the resurrection arc that's possible for KERSTEN Prodigy, because he can say, I shot for the moon. Yeah, I got burned. Here's the process going forward. Here's how we move forward with this. Here's how I get myself back. So it's still there for him. I think he's still got a really bright future. Obviously, he's a strong dude, but he needs to take advantage of that somehow, and hopefully he can. And hopefully the mental part of that is there for him.
Well, KERSTEN doesn't strike me as the type of dude who's got any mental weakness issues. He seems to me at first glance as like a very tough dude and somebody who's not going to be wavered at all by this, you know. And it's like you said, when you look at the production quality and how much he clearly put into that event, imagine having to try and organize that event, have anxiety in preparation for the event, watch it, manage it, and then be the last match. You know, it's almost like a recipe for disaster. And not like it could have been prevented in any way, shape, or form, but I can't imagine him having a great opportunity to focus, get his mind right, warm up, get blood into his bicep. And hindsight's 2020, but when you look at it, like in retrospect, it's like almost not surprising that something like that did happen. You hate to see it. All we can hope for and pray for is that he gets that bicep attached about a half an inch lower and it gets a little bit stronger.
Yeah, it's always a weird one, isn't it, with a bicep tendon, because it can be very, very serious and potentially career threatening, or it can be career enhancing, just depending on what the level of the damage is, what type of injury it is. I'm hoping, like you say, that it's something that he can come back stronger from. Right. Really hoping that's the case. It's a great shame, but worst case scenario, couple of years, he could potentially get back to at least where he was. It's just a signal that the lad's going to have to take some time out, and I hope it doesn't knock him on his ass to the point where he feels really bad about the sport and gets a down on it. I've actually sent him the link tonight, and KERSTEN said that he's going to try and ring in. It'd probably be more prompt than Rolly Ray, but we'll let Rolly Ray off because he was wearing that shirt again, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, shirt and belt combo was truly amazing. Even the second time round, I'm never going to tire of that. It was amazing. So Marius Tambikis, one of your boys, that, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, man. Sydney boy, Marius Tambakis. Good lad.
Tambakis, excuse me for murdering the pronunciation there, mate. You can slap the shit out of me when you see me live. So he's put, love the show, gents. Just want to show my support. Thank you very much for supporting us, mate. Really, really do appreciate that. My Pythagoras has come back in. How great is Engin? Engin sitteth on the top of a rare mountain. And just to piss me off even more, in the chat there is the voice of arm wrestling, Rolly Rays. But Just have dinner. We'll join Sue. No problem, mate. Even your cat's arsehole's been replaced.
Better cat. He's more risky.
You just do some digesting, Ray. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, you'll be all right, mate. We've got a different cat. Different asshole.
Jesus is here to save the day.
Yeah. Oh, mate, you can't say that. Just after I've made that comment, you can't go, it's only 5 minutes into the show and we've seen Jesus' asshole. No,
I never said it. Those words just come out of your mouth.
You teed that up then. That is your fault.
I only bowled it, mate. You hit
Listen,
it.
the blame lies with you, Jason.
Why not? Everything else does.
Now, another interesting character that's in the chat, and we've got to talk about because we've got the white orc on in an extremely stylish Lethal Arms apparel shirt. Look at that puppy. And you can buy that over on Lethal Arms. Get over there. Sort it out. Roger Canningham is in the chat.
My dude.
Yeah.
How impressive was that? How impressive was that? Talk me through that match, son.
Oh man. So Roger has been reaching out to me quite a bit lately. I love his personality. We get to laughing and stuff. We send voice messages back and forth and everything. And obviously I train with Brandon, and that's my guy. And he's been kind of like pumping me for information, like how do I pull this guy? And now I gave him a fair rundown as I gave Brandon a fair rundown as to how I think I would have to pull either person. Mm-hmm. And I just said like, hey, both of these dudes are real savvy on the setup. I told both of them are going to cheat and everything. But it was funny in the video I sent out. So I guess Tim Lewis was announcing the match, and Tim has a way about him. And he he said something along the line of he really built Brandon up. And then he basically said he wasn't a believer in Roger. And Roger, the first thing when I text Roger after the match was, he was like, F Tim Lewis. And he said after Tim's pre-match speech, he knew he wasn't going to lose, and it was over from there. But yeah, man, excellent. Like that is the way to pull Brandon. It is the way.
I mean, give us an idea, because we know Brandon's level on the left arm's pretty solid. We saw him kind of in more than 8 weeks ago. He pulled Travis.
He's better on the right. I mean, I think like earlier in his career, when I first met Brandon, he was left hand dominant. With everything he's been doing with his right is much more advanced at this point. I think he's ranked behind John at 220, number 2, and left arm, I think he's 1 or 2 at 220 in the country, in North America. And I think it's a well-warranted, beaten just in the past year.
He's been on a tear, hasn't he? Really
yes, well. He's been killing it. But yeah, I mean, Roger is like a fairly little known guy. He's known in Michigan. He wins Michigan States and everything, but doesn't travel a whole lot. But the guy's like enormous. He's like 6'6" or something, and like 205. And he's a shoulder.
Big. I thought he was about 6'4". I didn't know he was as big as Devin.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he's like Devin's height.
Wow.
And
okay,
he has a good hand, and he is predominantly a shoulder committed, deep hooker, defensive hooker. Joint driven, when you don't really see a whole lot of guys like that outside of Devin. So he's a unique problem for a lot of people, and he can top roll too.
He kind of looks, it reminds me of a little, he's got that sort of Kevin Bongardy sort of Tom Hollandy type approach to matches.
And let me tell you this guy is hilarious, and he is full of piss and vinegar. Yeah. Like you put him on that table against his mom, and he's going to turn up regardless. He's just a savage.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to like entertainment and willing to break his arm and like go nuts and fight with the ref, if you look up any of his videos, he's great. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's raw as hell, isn't he?
Yeah.
He even looks unwashed. He looks like a bit of a scruffy bastard. And I love that about you, Roger. I love that you feel like, I feel like if you came over to Arm Wars, first thing I'd do is be like, showers upstairs. I mean,
he's told me before that he takes offense to Ryan's strongest ginger comments.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Roger and I are destined to have a match just for that one reason only. Just that one reason.
You could promote it off
we
of
both
that.
have aspirations. we both have aspirations of being the top ranked ginger in the world someday. So, yeah, it's a race.
So Roger's rights equal or better than his left, you'd say as well. Similar to Brandon.
I think Roger is right hand dominant, and Brandon also is. He's a right. He writes with his right hand, throws with his right hand. But I think that Brandon just had previous better success, like earlier on in his WAL career and stuff. But his right is clearly better than his left now, just from practicing with him a lot.
Very interesting. So, I mean, he's the type of guy that I like because of the fact that he gets in the grinders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gets in screaming battles.
Yep.
And that's the kind of guy you want in from an arm wars perspective. He's perfect because he's not frightened of saying what he thinks.
Yep.
You know, and he gets in absolute wars. So fantastic. And similar weight to you then, Ryan. So you never know, mate.
Yeah.
It could be a ginger off.
That would be
could
awesome.
be a ginger off on Arm Wars or something like that.
That would be awesome.
Play that.
That could work. That could work.
It could.
Couldn't it?
It could
The
work.
Iron House.
I think
a proper ginger off. I like
Roger has, I think
The Rusty Iron House.
his sister lives in Manchester, I believe, too. So
Yeah,
probably,
perfect.
His sister lives in Manchester.
yeah,
Oh, mate. There's a
perfect.
God. There is a God and he loves arm wars. All I'm going to say. Absolutely fantastic stuff. You can't beat this. Tell you what. How's he feel about small, like, hairdressers' cars? Because if he's in Manchester, he's not too far from where Jason lives, and he could pick him up.
How does he feel about camo pants? Does he wear camo pants?
I don't
To
know.
the supermarket.
He would definitely wear camo. He would cut off his camo pants into camo shorts and wear it.
Well, him and Neil can just jump in his pickup and ride off into sunset, can't they, together?
I'll tell you what. I think that me and Roger would get on. I'm the cleaner man.
Yeah.
It would appear, but Roger's
You're the cleanest man on the planet. You literally take
well, this
an
is
hour
it.
and a half in the shower.
I take a lot of abuse from my 2-hour showers, but there's a lot goes down.
I was going to say there's probably a written agenda for those 2 hours, isn't there?
There's all sorts going in that shower. Let me tell you. We're not getting into that. Listen,
do you spend 2 hours in the shower at home, or is it just when you're away with the lads?
No. I like it. I don't mind a shower. So I am. Can we get off that? Something that it doesn't really matter, does it? I don't understand why we get drawn into that so often. There's something fascinates you about the fact that I have long showers, and it's not even that important. It's not even a thing. Let's talk.
Obviously not.
So Pythagoras has come back in with another super chat. Thanks, mate. He's put someone get Paul high. His laugh is the beast's sharpest knees. We've had a tradition of having people, slightly tilted on this show. We've had John Brasink leathered. We've had a number of times where Rolly Ray's come, and tonight, as he's been out for something to eat, you never know. Drunk Ray may show up tonight, maybe wearing the shirt.
Drunk guests.
Yeah. So if Paul wanted to come on bonged off his tits, not a problem.
I'll drink a beer. I've actually never done a drug, believe it or not. And I get drugs.
That's all right, mate.
Winter Blast is going to change your life, Paul.
Yeah, it could happen. So, Roger Kangi Ham's come in and he's sent one for you here, Ryan. It says there can only be one.
There can only be one.
Indeed, I feel it's time. It's time for Roger and I to start talking properly about this.
Hey, we can set a date. All the restrictions are coming off the travel, and it could be on.
No more vaccine requirements?
I think at the moment, by the time, if you looked at where we've got shows sort of scheduled out, so summer and then probably maybe August, September, pretty much for sure, I don't think there's going to be a problem from that perspective.
Okay.
Now, wars, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's getting a little scary. We'll see what happens. Let's not curse it. Matt Tickle Limits Larrett with a super chat. Thanks, brother. One of my favorite dudes. He's put, can we get a Stay Strong Ethan in the chat? My buddy was dominating the Pro 180 class yesterday and got caught in a weird spot and suffered a break above the elbow. His head's hanging low, so thanks. Great show as always. Stay strong, Ethan. I'll tell you what, breaks are another one like I was talking about with the bicep tear injury. I've seen a number of guys have breaks, and it's horrific. But it is possible that you come back from that an animal. 2 or 3 lads that I know that I've trained with. Craig Sanders broke his arm pulling a guy over here called Clive Ferguson, and directly after that injury, his level went through the roof. So,
Paul Talbot.
There you
That's
go.
that left, and just side pressure like crazy. He said after the break about 2 years, all fear went away, and his shoulder committed side pressure went through the roof.
And Chafee.
Yep, Chafee.
Another one.
Against Doug Allen.
Yeah. So, Doug Allen bust his arm. There's a video of that somewhere. So, tell your mate not to be too down, buddy. Obviously, it's horrific when it happens, but if he can get past the mental issues, you never know. If he can, not be scared up there. So, sorry, mate, go again.
I was just saying, get well soon.
Yeah, get well soon, dude. Hopefully everything's okay. Worse things have happened. And
have we found out what Kirsten's injury is yet? I know he was going to the hospital there last night, and
yeah, he's gone there. I'm pretty sure it looked very much like he blew his bicep tendon off the bone. I'll be amazed.
That's what it looked like, but yeah,
looked exactly like that, and I've seen a lot of them. I think he might be dialing in, mate. He's going to come on the show later on, possibly with Rowley, but he said he's going to try and dial in. So Ryan's exposed cable with a super chat, love it. Absolutely love that.
He's hiding it tonight, though.
Yeah. Well, he's have I been routed properly? What are your thoughts on my next YouTube name? Ryan's awkward camera angle or Ryan's huge microphone in frame?
And you know what they say: huge microphone, huge side pressure.
Hey,
I reckon we need a Tom Johnson.
Connective tissue, Ryan. Talk to me about connective tissue after what you saw last night. Have you rethought that through at all?
No, I'm going straight into the hook when I face BOZHIDAR. Straight into the hook. I want to test the connective tissue as hard as I can.
Ryan Bowen, the only man who's got more of an affiliation with connective tissue than the Andrex puppy. I'll tell you, he absolutely loves it. Driving straight. I'm glad you didn't meet RVJ and go diving in there. Think how long it would have been you couldn't have come on this show.
I have a different shape for RVJ for BOZHIDAR. Naturally, they're two very different opponents. But I don't intend to try to top roll BOZHIDAR. That's all I'll say. I'm very happy for BOZHIDAR to know that too. We've spoken to each other directly, and we're both coming forward. So we'll find out. I'm not gonna run at all. I'm gonna come forward. Totally coming forward.
What's the catch weight for that one, Ryan?
Yeah, that's what I was just
there's no catch weight in the sense I've told him I won't be heavier than 94 kilos. He's likely to be around 87, 88.
So it's a bigger version of Bozhi again. He's staying heavy. Yeah. So I don't
Did you see the after pulling last night?
No.
I did, I watched a bit of the after pulling and whatnot, which is good. But Bozzy's shape in terms of the way he contains and he's just a side pressure monster, and he's a hook monster, and he's got a small hand but solid static back pressure, and then he just slams it in, and to me it's an exciting shape opponent because that's where I want to test myself most of all. So I was watching that after pulling pretty closely.
You will get a really good grounding. On where you're hooking.
It'll be huge. It'll be a huge update. Like it's finally the update that I've been waiting for.
Yeah, it really will.
It's been two and a half years since I've had the international match. So it more than anything else will be an indicator of the progress I've made or haven't made in the last 2.5 years. So the last international hand I touched was Raymond Antonovich as he eliminated me from Zloty. So we'll be able to compare the two performances.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be. I think the way you're going to pull BOZHIDAR is the smartest way, because he's not going to fight to go anywhere else. He's going to allow you to get your position. He's not the type of guy that's going to be aggressively driving at you for speed either. He'll probably just roll nice and steady.
And that's the thing. If I try to run from him, I think BOZHIDAR is better than anyone at forcing top rollers into places they don't want to be. So I would much prefer to just go into my power, let him go into his power, and then we find out where the balance is.
And in your in your mind, Do you see this, or do you feel like it's a more difficult match than RVJ stylistically, or an easier match than RVJ?
No, I feel like RVJ was more dangerous in the sense of he could disengage me entirely. Like there was a risk that I just don't even get into the match against RVJ. Where against BOZHIDAR, I feel like we're just going power on power straight away. So in one respect, it's certainty against BOZHIDAR that I will be in my strongest zone, but that doesn't necessarily make it an easier match in any way, shape, or form. So they're two very different opponents, two very different potential outcomes in terms of how I could lose.
So just so I'm tracking, you're saying now that you feel your strongest spot is here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know that. I know you changed training and everything. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Owl.
Yeah. So I love the progression now.
Yeah, I mean, Bozhi, that's Bozhi's strongest spot too, right there. So,
he wants to be inside.
The differences between us are interesting. I think, given that I'm a touch taller than him, and my arms, I got 6 centimeters longer elbow to fingertip than Bozhi, so he's going to have that access to down pressure. I'm going to probably have more access to pronation in the hook. So I expect myself to predominantly. Like I'll try to be setting a high hook and then using the defensive half to get stops in a rotation sense. That's where I anticipate it to go. I think the onus to pin first will be on him, given the shorter arm. Generally speaking, I don't expect that I would be able to just offensively drive through him. It's going to be a hit for position into the hook, probably use that high pronation, high hook sort of style to survive, and then play the long game from there. And I honestly, genuinely expect a real battle. When I look at BOZHIDAR's match against Katowski, where Katowski was only weighing 80 kilos, BOZHIDAR looked dominant, but Katowski was able to at least put the brakes on and get a respectable match out of it. And I think I'm going to be quite comparable. A 94 kilo Ryan compared to an 80 kilo Katowski I think it's fair to say that BOZHIDAR and I will be a good match.
Are you going to use a few mental games, Ryan, when he gets off the plane? When you go to pick him up, are you going to, just as you go to pick him up and have your little card that says BOZHIDAR Simeonov, are you going to just stand on your tiptoes a few times just to accentuate that half inch?
I'll make sure I definitely get to the 6'2". I'll put on slightly thicker shoes or something.
I love the fact
remember now, I'm 6'1.5" barefoot. So shoes on, I'm 6'2".
6'2" with shoes.
With shoes.
I think it's fantastic that you use that intimidation process where everything in the conversation is a slight measurement. As you're driving back to the venue, you'll be like, couldn't help but notice half an inch there on the forearm over you. Just want to say. I know you've got 27 world titles and you're undefeated in 11 years, but definitely a good 2/3 of an inch there, son. So you thought. No, it'll be quite interesting. Joking aside, if you get exactly where you want, and it's difficult for you in that position, what that's going to allow you to do, because I don't think that he's the type of guy that's just going to try and go different places. He's going to probably try and one track you, so you'll be able to then throw the kitchen sink at him. Absolutely try everything in the book, because I've seen BOZHIDAR do that with guys before, where he'll just soak up the attacks and allow you to really work. So I do think it's a good. I actually really endorse that. I think it's a good match for you to be able to test yourself genuinely against a guy that's a very measured quantity. I mean,
I agree. That's why I like the match as well. And I do, if option A doesn't work out for me, as you know, I've got enough variation that I will be able to throw the kitchen sink at him and see if that changes things. I mean, I don't anticipate an out-and-out top roll being that answer, but sometimes you surprise yourself. Sometimes the door that's more open is not the one you expected. So if BOZHIDAR's using that same lane over and over again, I definitely won't do the same thing 4 times in a row and just lose. There'll be a lot of variation to my game to try to find that crack.
Well, to have a eclectic viewpoint on this match, we have to bring someone in. World-renowned chef in the chat, Chef Shadis, is here, and he wanted to know what the hell is Ryan even talking about? So I said to Chef Shedis, I said, Shedis, what kind of odds do you give Bone against Bozy? And he said, 0 odds.
Oh,
That's good.
wow.
Zero odds. What do you think? Is it possible, Ryan, that BOZHIDAR is just going to spank and move on?
No. It's not possible. I genuinely don't think it's possible for him to just simply pull through me and make me look like I'm not in the league. No way. No, I don't think so. I mean, he's the best 80-kilo arm wrestler on earth on right arm. I mean, he's beaten Vlad the Destroyer 6-0 in Arm Wars. He's beaten Talget. He's managed to catch the speed of Talget. But no, it'll be competitive. There's too many matches. Yeah. No, I'm not worried about it at all. Sanders will eat his words. And then he'll lose to Lachlan.
Where do you put yourself in it? If you were giving yourself odds, do you see yourself as a favourite? Do you see yourself as an underdog?
I see myself as about 40%. If I'm the bookmaker, 40%, I reckon.
44.
I genuinely think it's going to be a close match.
I'm interested. I'm very interested. You know what is a sure bet, guys? Do you want to know what 100% sure bet is? That you will enjoy the latest episode of Arm Wars, which now stars the two-time appearer, Uncle John. Uncle John versus David Bradford was an epic show. And if you guys haven't seen it, for God's sake, get over there, because
that was the perfect transition to a commercial. The show's going on long enough. It's time for a commercial break.
You gotta pump it up. Good, get over to Arm Wars right now. One of the moderators put the link in there. I don't know what, like, if you guys want to have true entertainment and look at things that happen in arm wrestling beyond guy A beats guy B, if you want emotion, if you want adrenaline, then this is like, I got my ass kicked, and it's one of my favorite 24 minutes to watch ever. Like, I don't know how those guys do it. I don't know how James does it, but
that passion right there is why that was.
I love it.
I always dread a 6-0 match. When I've got to sit there and pull together a 6-0 match, I'm like, oh God, here we go. What? How? Okay, right. Okay. And then I remember that he's involved. It'll be fine. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
But to be fair,
a lot of the guys make my job really easy.
I do think I may go back down the route of when I kid up to that degree, we may not show 6-0s going forward. We might just show, because we got so many badass matches that are coming out of Ironhouse. There's just no requirement. In fact, I'm trying to think of this. There were very, very few. Something
else really special would need to happen in order for us to put 6-0s out.
Something significant.
If something really, if a really interesting, something that people should see happens in it, then fair enough. You know, there's a video there. But down the line.
Well, how about a shout out to the matchmaking? Because how often can you avoid a sweep? 9 times. I mean, you see so many sweeps, and you can usually tell in the first round, all right, this is over, you know. To be able to make a match stylistically and judge the competitors, to know that it's going to be a war, it's incredibly hard to do. So you guys have nailed it for sure.
No, it's not you guys, it's all him. He does the matchmaking.
Well, on my screen, that if you point that way, it's Ryan. So I don't know.
It's all that guy. It's all Fatty.
I've been secretly
Fatty does it all.
Right.
Ryan's
Neil's in the shower the whole time. I'm the one doing that.
Here we go. It starts to become a thing now, isn't it? The 2-hour showers.
All I get in is opinions. I get in opinions, and then Neil tells me why that will be a 6-0 match, and I go, all right then. And then he'll tell me what we're going to do, and then I say, it better not be a 6-0 match. And then he goes,
how many matches did you dream up in the shower, Neil? Be honest.
Well, I said a lot of stuff goes down in the shower, mate. I said a lot of stuff goes down in the shower. It's a time
writing in the steam.
Yeah, it's the time for contemplation.
It's a time for reflection
and other things. It's a time for things.
See, you do it to yourself by saying other things.
Hey, let me tell you now. It's you can get in there, clear your mind, clear your thoughts, come out, and you're like, right, I know what's going down in the next arm wars. This is it.
I know I'm not thinking about arm wrestling when I'm doing other things.
No, I do. Hey, I like arm wrestling.
You're not thinking about your pronation.
Yeah,
you got me.
Yeah. Not maybe Engins. No, I'm not. I don't go down that route. Anyway, I'm going to adopt the Uncle John approach and just give a little shout out to the show sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, Western Survivor beef jerky. Undeniably, the greatest beef jerky of all time.
Oh, nice. Jason got his
tits.
Nice.
Hey, crack
Have you
pepper.
tried these yet, mate?
crack
Oh,
pepper.
the little sausages.
Oh my God.
Good gear. Very good
Oh
gear.
my God.
But I've
Well,
got
I've been chatting to my mate Adam online. And guess whose beef jerky I've got?
Yeah, let me tell you, Adam Vandal is another guy that gets in some wars as well. He's not been pulling long, but Adam Vandal scares me with the commitment that he has in some of his matches. Sent me over a match. The lad doesn't just talk the game; he really does. He throws himself in. He's one of Ryan's lot, connective tissue, right in there, 100 miles an hour. Don't back that shoulder off. He is game. So Adam Vandal of Western Survivor fame, fair play to you, mate. You back it up, and you can't knock that. Also, shout out to our other show sponsor, ARMWrestlingForums.com. If you've not been over to ARMWrestlingForums.com yet, guys, you need to get yourself over there. That's where the chat's happening. You want to go over and talk about arm wrestling. Some of the best arm wrestlers in the world are involved, Arm Wrestling Forums, and it's like the days of the Northeast message board. You can get over there and you can chat till you can off. Just get over there and get on it. Check it out. If you've got questions about the sport, if you want to know anything from a technical perspective, whether it's around events, whether it's opinion, Arm Wrestling Forums is the place to go. So get over there, check it out. Really good thing for the sport. And I'm delighted that that kind of thing's come back around, if I'm perfectly honest. You know, even a lot of love for Ryan Bowen over there. So that, you know, they accept everyone. Ryan gets a lot of abuse here on the Fix. Arm Wrestling Forums, they love him.
Yeah, I did. I popped over there. There was only good things. I couldn't believe it.
Awesome. So I'm going to
give up YouTube now and take up forums.
They love him.
I'm going to have Ryan Turner, the creator of Arm Wrestling Forums. He's going to be on my show on Wednesday, and we're starting off like this big prediction thing. So you can post your predictions, get all the clout, all the prediction clout you want. We're going to start it on Wednesday on After Dark.
Lovely darts. That's exactly what we want to see. And you can start it off by talking about predictions on whether Ryan's 60-40 on BOZHIDAR.
Yes.
What level of success are you going to be happy with, Ryan? If you come out with a pin,
I'll be happy with the match taking just if it's a match, if it's clearly a match where after round one you're not sure who's going to win the overall story. If I lose it that way, I'm very, very happy. That's a good performance for me. Obviously, I'm going in to win it, and I think that I'm going to do everything I can, and we're always pushing for the win. But in my head, I think that that's where I can be in terms of competitiveness, and that's what a good result for me is. At minimum, a good result is I want you to be unsure of who's going to win after round one.
Yeah, I mean, mate, let's be perfectly honest. Joking aside, if you can come out with that, my hat can't come off far enough because BOZHIDAR Simonov is mega. The guy he's mega. So honestly, mate, fair play to you. If you come out with a result against him, tremendous effort. And I know you can really pull. So yeah, I know you'll throw it all at him as well. Do vary it up. Because I genuinely think stylistically, Boz, will let you get where you want to be. So be brave and go out. Holy Sean Brophy. An unbelievable super chat. And Sean, we were saying earlier in the show that Jason doesn't mind doing favors for that kind of money. So I honestly think that if you ever come over to the UK, tell you what, you'll get what the cat got. Like,
he's a happy cat.
He's a happy cat. He's a happy cat. That's phenomenal. Sean, thank you so much for your support of the channel, mate. That's absolutely super kind. It helps a lot. And you know where that's going? It's going in a Arm Wars. That's right, baby. Now, a couple of other super chats. The dreaded pirate Blue Bowen is coming from the super chat. Uncle John, hope I can get to crush you at Atlantics. Bradford destroyed you like Redbeard destroyed his credibility against the Anvil. Oof. That's what you call 2 birds, 1 stone.
The dreaded pirate is from Atlantic Canada. Interesting.
Yeah, I believe most of the trolls are from Atlantic Canada.
Probably.
I believe there's something about the sense of humor that leads me to believe that that a great deal of the troll army originate from that very area. But I may be wrong.
It's possible. It's possible. Yeah. I will be at Atlantics. I don't know if I'll be pulling or not. It depends on the distance to the next other big event that, whatever the next big one that will be going on. But if there's nothing going on, I'll be there hanging and banging, waiting for people.
Now, the level of super chat has gone up a little bit. We'll get to some of the more serious ones in a second. But first of all, here's a little cracker from Engin's Fake Taxi account. He's put, I'm back, Neil. Thanks very much, mate. Much appreciate your involvement in the show. Now then, would you rather watch 10 hours of Fake Taxi with Lavon in it, which is a bit worrying, isn't it? Or 10 hours
would he
of
fit in a taxi?
Yeah, no. I thought you were going to say, would he fit in? And I'm glad he went taxi. Or 10 hours of casting couch with Jerry Caderet. I'm all about the Fake Taxi, but I feel a little bit sick after reading that comment, mate. So, no, yeah.
I'm trying to eat.
Yeah. It's like that's the level we've gone to early as well. We've not even.
These are cursed images in my mind now. I
know. It's like a bit disturbing, isn't it? But I did actually send over the join link to Engin, to Lavon, Rhodes, and also John and Devon, because I'm sick of sending it out when they do jump in the chat and people are like, send them the link. So I just sent them the link. So they've all got that link. Mythagoras with the super chat. Where do you reckon Lavon stands in terms of pound for pound in the world rankings? Very difficult question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very difficult question, because we haven't got the body of work that you'd really know to make, I mean, and I do think life's more difficult for the big lads in that respect. And he's about as big as it gets. I mean, what was he, 180 kilos, 186 kilos at his last match?
Yeah, something like that.
Extreme.
It's always difficult to read pound for pound ranks for the super heavyweight guys, obviously, because there's just nothing to compare to. There's no one above them for us to be able to get that read on. You have to say he'd be competitive. I mean, he's a long way the best, and he's a long way heavier than everyone. So I don't know. Like if we could scale Giannis Amelins up to 186, who wins? Just imagine it.
Yeah.
Who wins?
See, it's hard to say even that, because you've got a situation where we've not seen Lavon's technical range yet.
Yeah.
Because he's at a level of power where it's very hard to stop the man serving an ace. That doesn't mean that he can't arm wrestle well, because he's given evidence in the past of being able to pull in a lot of positions. He looks really solid, and his form looks good where he does arm wrestle. I'm a big fan of him in that respect. I think that he gets a lot of, I've heard so many people out and about say, oh yeah, but it's all just about the power. There's no finesse. And I don't agree with that. I think there's definitely finesse there. I'd like to see him tested in this next match. If Devon can get to the level where, the breaks go on and it turns into an arm wrestling match, that would be awesome. For the sport, it would be, because there's going to be more eyeballs on that, I would think, than there's ever been on anything else, just because of the level of following that Devon's got and will probably have, particularly if he goes on Joe Rogan's show. So, yeah, could be incredible. Jerry Cadaret's tongue with a super chat. Casting couch? No, that has some flavour to it. Nice work. See, we get a high level of comedy in our super chats here. Lads in Atlantic Canada, they know what they're doing. The dreaded pirate Blue Bowen back in again. He's put, unfortunately, I'm from the asshole of Atlantic Canada, St. John, which is still better than Dartmouth. Does that give you any clues, John?
Yeah, you're not wrong about Dartmouth. I avoid Dartmouth, but since you're from St. John's, last time I was in St. John's, they sent me home with the crown. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I kind of left my mark on St. John's at old Mazelle's place. Mazelle Jador can confirm that if you want. So just be careful. I am royalty in Newfoundland.
Yeah, and have experience with royalty globally, as I understand.
I am pretty much a worldwide connoisseur of family jewels. I have family jewels. I give family jewels. I acquire new family jewels. You know, it's just a thing we do when, you know, my status is pretty high up there.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now then, I'll just knock this over while he's joining. Gunter saying with a super chat, and he's perfectly timed it because we're just about to get the Fix's technical director, although he's not that technical, maybe drunk, Ray. And he's got
no, this is not drunk, Ray. This is
stone cold sober.
Stone cold sober. Yeah. Just had dinner, Ray. Just had dinner, Ray.
So we're going to throw this question at you straight away, mate, because you're quite experienced with both lads in that respect. Gunter Sane with a super chat, and he's put, how do you guys think John and Irakli will go? Very engaging question.
John and Irakli.
Yeah.
I think Irakli has the edge of speed. I think John has John gets better and better. He gets better and better. So if he can deny the pronation of Irakli, so trap him at the start on basically on offensive side, then I think it's John. But the longer the match goes, I think it favors Irakli. So it's an interesting match, and I will not draw any conclusions. Sorry.
I'm gonna stick my neck out early on this. And whilst I absolutely love Irakli, it's two of my favorite arm wrestlers. I'm a massive fan of Irakli. I think he's a great puller. But I think John might be able to shut him down stylistically. I've seen John have great success with guys like that. So I just believe that it's a good match for John. I think John can have a lot of success there. It would be nice to see John have success there, just because of the fact that would just deliver a solid message that he's back at world level. Because a few comments came over that Zoloff may have had some injuries and this, that, and the other. I don't buy into that myself. I think he was fit enough, fit enough. And I think that John, Ryan had dropped out. I hadn't noticed. He's back in. Let's put him back in. But I think it's undeniable, and it really underlines it, that if John's gone through Zoloff and then he goes through Irakli, that he's right in the mix for the very best in the world at that weight once again, which is truly frigging remarkable, isn't it? Let's be honest. So let's have a look. We'll knock over a few super chats real quick because there's a load coming in and I don't want to miss it. So let's have a look. Who have you got in there, Ray? Have you got quite a few in the place?
Yeah, I have.
All pullers.
So I have Boji right here, Yanis, Sasha.
Lovely darts.
Stefan, Callum, everyone's here. So
lovely darts. Yeah. We'll try and catch up with a couple of them in a minute, get some questions going for the guys. But first of all, Exia de Novo with a super chat. Paul, this is for you, Mr. Lynn. Paul, how do you get your normal workout in, plus arm wrestling workout and arm wrestling practice? Do you hit back on arm day, and will you sell the T-shirt with the gun online?
Yeah, I split. I do a total body split. So chest and tries on Monday, I paired up with cup and side pressure, and then Tuesday and Thursday are legs, back, and buys, paired up with back pressure, pronation, supination. Wednesday is my shoulder day, rise and sink, and finger work. And yeah, you can order. We have variations of the logo. This logo, the LA Dodgers wanted to sue me over because of my verbiage for the trademark. So you can purchase this. Just DM me. We have plenty of stuff in stock. We don't have this hockey hoodie. It'll be back around next season. But we have a ton of this logo that we sell at tournaments, and we have a big stock of it. So just DM me and I'll ship it out.
Lovely dart. So that answers the question. A great super chat here from Kane Garnham even. Do you guys ever struggle with the pickle jar? Lovely. That's how we're at level there.
He's a fort.
Personally, yes. but I think some of these lads are strong enough to deal with it, mate. Let's have a look. Henry Bowerslow. Neil, can you give an update on RVJ, please? I miss him. No, you know what? I haven't spoken to Rob for probably 3 weeks or so. I will be checking in with Rob soon. Top dude, and hope everything's going all right for Rob in that respect, and he's not taking too much of a knockback. Let's have a look what else we got in here. We have Okay, there's 2 questions I'm not going to read there.
While you're doing that, Neil, I'd just like to say,
yeah, not going to read
that Western Survivor is the best beef jerky on the planet.
What is that?
In the world.
This is new.
Have you tried all these new flavors?
No.
I'll tell you what.
I feel like James just got a new sponsorship. He's like,
whatever flavor.
Adam got in touch with me and said, "Can I send you Neil's beef jerky and promise me you won't eat any of it?"
Let me tell you, I'm glad that you've got to experience the quality of beef jerky that Western Survivor, because we come here and we talk about it and people might think, yeah, it's just because they're sponsoring the show. But it actually came about the other way. The beef jerky is the Wizards, and that's how it came about. So look, if you're interested, and Adam was like, yeah, let's go. And off we go, because it is a quality product. Same with Arm Wrestling Forums. If we're going to support anybody and get them to support the channel, and going forward, Arm Wars is interested in attracting sponsors. But ideally, we'd like to get sponsors who are arm wrestlers or represent arm wrestling. That's the truth.
Synergy.
It's what it's all about. So we got VPOJ with a super chat, and he's put GL to Ryan versus BOZHIDAR, Neil. Will you see Arm Wars? We will see Arm Wars before I die. Mate, it's open house. There's no reason why that cannot happen. The dreaded pirate Blue Bowen with one for you, John, here. He's put St. John, and he's put MB Meathead.
New Brunswick. So it's even worse than I thought. If you thought St. John's, Newfoundland was bad, St. John, New Brunswick is like, I don't know, probably close to where James Statham lives, most likely.
I was just about to say, it's probably like Darwin.
You cheeky bastard. Listen, this is coming from a man who lives in Oldham. I mean, no, we're not going to get into that. We're not getting into that. I know some very good people from Oldham. You're not one of them. But I know some good people from Oldham.
Can someone please acknowledge Ray's pose?
It's hard not to, isn't it?
Hey, taking it Forest on your ass.
That's right. That's right, Ray. Boys. That's right,
Is that
boys.
a bit of belly?
Yeah.
Just cover your belly up, Ray.
It's all real.
I'm always covering my. It's all real.
Let me tell you this, Ray. You can do no wrong for me, son, because the other night I get the message. Oh, you got to find out what happened in Malta. I tune in, and there it was. There it was, Ray, in all its glory, with the belt, the whole goddamn thing. Tell you what, mate, you're my favorite person. There's no doubt about it. You are the king. So we got Mythagoras with a super chat here. He's put, following up on the pound for pound debate, who is greater, Todd Hutchins or Oleg Jacques?
On the right, Todd Hutchins.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, just from an overall pound for pound perspective, though. Who would you rate higher?
Jacques.
Giant.
No one can get past Jacques.
Yeah. No one gets past that. Yeah.
I love Todd Hutchins, though.
Yeah.
I just want Ray's shirt Tom Johnson was really good. I love that. And Catwoman. It's only me, Sanders, and Statham knows that.
Yeah, he was making that joke all over Facebook. I was like, nobody knows, mate. That's a deep inside joke.
I don't care. That's deep screamer.
Deep inside.
Yeah.
That's a screaming inside joke. Yeah.
Listen, if the chef knows, it's got to be good. Ryan's exposed cable with another super chat, and he's put Ryan's lighting has turned his forehead the same color as the sign. For the sake of us all, just call John to smooth out the details. It's easy.
I'll help you, Ryan. I will help you achieve this expert level.
I'm constantly freezing at the moment. I don't know what's going on the ramp. I'm hoping it'll freeze on this moment right here, if you're lucky. Come on, I'll hold it up there for 10 seconds. It'll probably freeze. Come on. If you're lucky, you'll get it.
Ray, loved it. Matt
Ray's not been drinking.
So Matt Tickle Limits with a super chat.
2 beers, though. 2 beers.
He's put
Come on,
the Latvian Prince, Coach Ray. Also the best dressed at every show and one of my favourite guys to watch pull. Certainly the busiest. Jesus, he's out and about at the moment. He's everywhere, he's anywhere. Coach Ray. He's like a gun for hire in the best possible way. And Kevin Tamkai with a super chat. He's put, congrats, Ray.
I just love Ryan. I'm
waiting for the freeze.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that. There we go. It's frozen. Finally.
There it is. I'm on with strokers. Tell you what, I'm on. Kevin Tomcase, but congrats, Ray, for having the perfect last-minute super match record. Pradeep thinks you could have won 3-0. Did you just make the match interesting? Be honest.
Of course, I wanted to make match interesting, but I think all those spins were legit. Stefan was strong. I didn't put out my 100% effort because I wanted to make it longer. But there was no like, I didn't want to lose a round. He just took those rounds from me. You know, I got too relaxed and maybe gave up too much and tried different things. But yeah, it was how it was. It was awesome.
I was helping a lot you.
Yeah, Giannis was helping a lot for me to lose.
When Giannis called the elbow foul, I laughed real hard.
I was like, can we please, I'll take off my headphones.
So give me a second. I'll take off this. Okay, good.
Yeah. There you go. Got a bit of wide angle. Joined by the Jedi, Giannis Hamlin's in the house. And Marcus Thompson, thank you so much, mate, for your super chat. Absolutely mega generous, Marcus. Thank you very much. Sean and Marcus tonight, absolutely killing it. Thanks,
they're killing
it. Really appreciate that. Absolutely brilliant. And that's going towards the wars. Raymond's Lipid's Tiny Lamp with a super chat. Can you rank yourselves in the show 1 to 6? Who would win in a tournament against each other, right and left? Right. I'm going to go Paul.
I'm out first round.
I think Paul is the strongest man on the show.
No, but Giannis is in the screen right now.
Yeah, we count. Yeah, are we counting Giannis? He'd be 7. Let's count Giannis as well. Probably, I'll go flying in with my first guess at this. I would say Paul Lynn, Giannis, Ryan,
bitch.
Ray.
I will slap your tits. I will pull.
Right.
I will pull Tuglord and call
Roger Cunningham.
Tuglord.
You knew it was coming.
I was hoping he was going to put me above you, Ray.
Yeah, I should have done actually.
You should have.
I don't know. Yeah, and John, Jason, and myself.
You put yourself last.
Yeah,
as if.
And yeah, go on, Paul. You take a stab at that.
I don't know. I don't rate myself.
Paul's way too nice to take a stab at that.
Yeah, I'll exclude myself. It's Giannis. It's Giannis. Probably a trained up Neil, Ryan and Ray at a tie, and John and I don't know. I got to see Ryan and Ray.
Once I'm allowed to travel, we'll see that.
I'm going to have to start pulling some arms off soon.
Yeah. I don't know anything about you, Jason. I apologize.
Just call me fucking Jason. I know that.
I know his name.
I want to ask Giannis.
Awesome, man.
Giannis, if you were a scaled up Giannis, if you were, say, 150 kilos of you, the same as you are, would you beat Lavon?
Just say 50. Never. First of all, I have never been more than 77 kilos. So
79. Don't lie. Why is Giannis?
But that wasn't the question, Giannis.
79.
You're now 70 in Malta. We're eating all the time. I think Giannis,
in a makeshift world.
Lamb and 2 beers.
I think Giannis made some kind of bet, like how fat he can get me. Because we walk around 2 hours and then he will see like a shop and she's like pancakes. And he knows I want pancakes.
I just know you are weak.
I'm very weak. And we go and eat pancakes. And then we walk around, he's like, ice cream. And I go and eat ice cream.
What's the heaviest he's ever been? Giannis, what's the heaviest weight you've ever been in your life?
Never over 80 kilo.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. 78, 79 probably.
Yeah.
Always. I have been same for last 20 years. 76, 78.
That's impressive,
2 kilos up and down.
And let's get your unbiased
regime. You know, it's discipline and regime.
As a non-member of the Fix crew, rank it 1 to 6, mate. Who do you think? Let's see your ranking. Who have you got?
Neil Pickup. Right arm.
On right arm? Yeah.
Yeah. It's we talk about history as well.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, if it's all time, Neil Pickup for sure. Pauline. Ryan Bowman. Right?
Yes! Yeah.
Killing him.
Come out for pancakes and ice cream after that.
Yeah. I just like to remind everyone that Giannis is one of the legends of the sport. If you, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I just haven't been in Australia for 3 years, so that's why I'm so.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Exactly.
What do you think? What do you think about Ray and Ryan left arm?
Left arm Ray.
Yeah, I've got Ray.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and right arm is it depends. It could be really close as well, but right now, Ryan.
Just because of size, yeah.
just because we want to go to Australia to prove that it's not.
Yeah.
I'll said the otherwise. He would get angry. He would say, "Come and prove it."
Yeah.
Fucking hell, yeah.
We've still got some super chats to knock over here, but this is quality. The dreaded pirate Blue Bowen's coming. He's put. The question is, would Redbeard use a riser against the Hobbit, Ray? Oh.
Right, yeah, Ray's so low.
So he could reach you.
Yeah.
Terrible, that, isn't it?
Imagine that. Imagine that match. Ryan's on like a 5-inch riser and Ray doesn't have one.
But he'd need one against Roger Cangingham. He'd need one. And Roger's put, get some rolling. So Roger's backing you, mate. He's backing you. We got Jerry Cadaret's tongue with a super chat. He's put, Neil, it would be amazing if you were on the Joe Rogan Experience with Devon. Best interview ever if you two were there. Mate, I would leap at that opportunity with both my fat feet. So,
yeah, maybe not very high, but you would leap.
Yeah, I wouldn't leap so high, but I'd definitely have a go. There's no doubt about it. I'll be 110% up for that, mate. If you know anybody, just tell them to give me a shout. I'll be straight on that show, not a problem. Pythagoras has said Cody Merritt can beat Devon's left, can beat Devon's left, and then why not? Yeah, Cody Merritt's pretty bloody stout, left-handed. That's an interesting match. It's one I'd like to see.
Is he healthy with his left? I thought he just kind of screwed it up again.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I heard that he had some damage on one of the where it was pin fired from the break.
Oh,
but I don't know the extent of the damage.
Yeah, he had to pull out of a match very recently, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But I don't know whether it's like just needs to be careful and get it fixed, and then he'll be back pulling again in like a couple of months, or whether he's genuinely screwed it up badly. I don't know. But if we're talking about a fit Cody Merritt, here we go as well. If we're talking about injuries, if we're talking about a fit Cody Merritt, that's a match that is very interesting indeed. No doubt about it. So the dreaded pirate Blue Bowen with another super chat. He's put, Redbeard uses his mouth to open the pickle jar, then still has to resort to calling the anvil to help. Oh, who is this guy? Is he a friend of yours, mate? It could be somebody you've arm wrestled in a...
It could be. It very well could be. I don't know.
Could be somebody.
I can't wait to find out.
I never know, do you? You just never know. Serginio with a super chat. And he's put, as long as top pullers openly talk about their pancake cycles on their channels, the big money sponsors will avoid the sport. Definitely something in that, for sure. He's put, we are biting the hand that feeds us, and it seems so obvious and frustrating. Very pertinent comment, mate. Very pertinent comment. There's definitely something in that, in my opinion. Because if you look at a lot of the big sports, obviously they're forced to clean the sports up, and I think that is very pertinent comment.
Well, I will say, if Diet 7-Up is looking for a athlete to sponsor who is 100% natty, I am your man.
You are
Diet
that guy.
7-Up. Tastes delicious.
You are that guy. Now, ladies and gents, joining us from sunny Malta is our very own Kirsten Prodigy. Mate, how are you feeling?
In a different room? No, he didn't come here.
No.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Kirsten? Just connecting to audio, I think. Just give him a moment to get on there. Give him a moment to get on there. But
he left.
Oh, okay. He thought, yeah.
While we're waiting for him to come back in, we've always got BOZHIDAR in the room.
Well, I wanted to go straight into that and get Bodgy over here. Just call him over, Ray, and I want to ask him something.
Yeah.
Bodgy. I think he went outside.
They went outside.
I think they went outside. Yeah.
Oh, timing blows, not in a good way.
Yeah, just 3 minutes. I will get him.
It's absolutely bloody terrible. This could have been such a smooth show. We've missed you, Ray, actually.
No, you didn't.
No.
Your cat got showed up at the beginning of the show. We got a show from Jason Statham's cat, the whole back door.
I'm going to open out with people in a minute.
Yeah,
Black Jesus.
Did a job, no doubt about that. So
Okay.
I wanna get
Bodgy's not coming back. Sorry.
Oh,
He's a little bit too tired.
Too tired.
I'm going to ask Giannis as another professional advisor on the show. The Jedi, where do you see the match between Ryan Bowen and BOZHIDAR in terms of percentage split? Who's the favorite and by how much?
It doesn't matter, probably weight category for Boże.
No, just as they are, because you're going to pull at the weight they are now, no real limit. So.
Yeah, it's 60-40 for Boże, or maybe even, yeah.
Wow.
70-30.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's always a chance,
No.
but Boże is special. Yeah.
He's especially in a super match, especially he can pull for long, and I know that Ryan is good in the long fights as well and good with transitions, but we haven't seen Boże losing in a long match. Only once it's happened in Europe and against Vladislav Krasovskis when Vlad was over in triceps press, but that's probably only time I have seen BOZHIDAR losing in a long fight for last many years.
Yeah.
Especially
really
when it's more or less fresh.
Thank you. Yes, that makes me. I hope for a genuine war. That's all I want. And my gut feel is that it will be. I said that the reason I put my arms up was I said the same number. I said that I was a 60-40 BOZHIDAR as the fair favorite.
And, it will not be flash pin for sure. It will not be flash pin for sure from BOZHIDAR. I believe you will enter the fight and you will be able to stop but at the end BOZHIDAR will win. That's my opinion.
That's a good assessment, mate, and an unbiased assessment. That's nice to get because if you'd have asked me, if you'd have asked Ray, if you'd have asked John or Paul, and probably even Jason, we would have all lied and would have definitely made it much worse for Ryan in that match. Even if
I would say
win.
120% for BOZHIDAR, minus 20% for Ryan.
There you go.
I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. Yeah,
looking about.
I think.
Looking aside, though, on an endurance perspective, Ray, if the match does stop, let's just say, give Ryan the benefit of the doubt, and the match stops and they get into a grinder. Who do you think has the more endurance? Do you think Boże has better endurance than Ryan?
Boże. So it doesn't matter. The Boże can stop the match in a winning position or in a losing position, so inside or outside, and still be in the match and control the
longer the fight goes, it's an advantage for BOZHIDAR.
Yeah. So
that's because BOZHIDAR sits on that elbow so well, just like a Todd Hutchins, like any athlete who takes control of center with their elbow can rest their muscles longer or more efficiently than someone who's on their muscles. So. Yeah, I see him as a very side pressure elbow based guy, and that's why I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be an interesting match. We got the dreaded Pirate Blue Bowen, who is killing it tonight. Also, he's put James, giving him his official title.
Thank you.
When are you going to give up the hairline and go full Jason?
Done it.
Yeah. Did you do that yourself?
I did. Yeah.
Did you? I thought you
in the shower.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
So
I'd still have a quicker shower than him.
Oh,
all the shower talk. I've been to England twice now, and I still haven't seen a shower. I haven't seen one.
Are you serious?
Everything, it's just the nozzle. It's a shower nozzle that comes from the drain, the spigot.
That's just the rooms that we give to you, because we know that's how you like it.
Yeah. Here we go.
I just thought it was. I thought the whole tub was a
You get the
bidet.
nozzle.
I was shitting in the tub for the first 2 days. I didn't know any better.
Oh God, that made me feel weird.
That makes sense now.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not good. There's
And I thought someone started, I should continue. So
yeah, that's why it smelled up there so bad.
I wish you hadn't told me that. And the chef Shedis is in our chat. He doesn't need to know things like this. I mean, he deals with food. He's a professional. Sasquatch with a super chat. He's put dream matches to watch for all of you guys. What would they be? Mine is a Big Zilla versus a Big Sasho.
We've already got Big Sasho. That is Big Sasho.
We talked with Sasho yesterday, and we asked same question about Todd Hutchings, and we asked about weight, and he said, I would like to pull Todd in 90 kilo class. Yeah. So he probably, but Sasha don't care too much about other arm wrestlers. He cares more about himself, and he don't know how much, for example, Todd weights or how he's like.
We know that peak Sasha can beat peak Tsiplenko.
He said no. He said I could beat prime Tsiplenko.
Prime Tsiplenko
at 90 kilos.
Tsiplenko.
But prime Tsiplenko should be 90 kilos.
So the only things that he put in there were a natural prime Tsiplenko
under 90 kilos.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm confident. That's fair. That's fair.
Fair enough. Henry Bowerslaw is a big fan of the Jedi, and he's put Yanis. It's always a pleasure to have your input on the show, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the best to ever do it, Yanis Amelins. Let me tell you now, the man knows what he's talking about. And on that note, get over to Voice of Arm Wrestling. Check out what these guys do. Very, very active. Oh, we got Kirsten back here, guys, as well. Let's let him in. Very active in the sport. Very active over in Malta this weekend. And very active on the channel. So get over there and check it out. Particularly the new guys as well, who are looking for a grounded in the sport.
Yeah, we in next... not tomorrow, but when I get back on Tuesday and Wednesday, will come 2 big interviews about hour-long, one with BOZHIDAR and Sasho. Sasho is speaking English, and one with Michael Tal.
Sasho speaking English?
Yeah, we got a lot of rakia in him.
Wow.
Fluent in English.
Wow.
His English is great off camera.
Yeah.
As soon as you put a camera in front of him, it's
right up.
That's why we put a glass of rakia before that.
Yeah, a glass or 3. Yeah.
Can you hear me now, guys?
Oh, yeah, there you go. We got you now, mate.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gents, we're joined by Kersten Prodigy. Obviously, Kersten, really sorry, mate, that's happened to you. It's terrible, terrible affliction straight off the bat. I mean, we were saying earlier, you put so much effort into the show, which looked excellent, mate. You know, you could really see you'd gone for it there. What's the situation with the arm? Have they told you exactly what you've done, and what's the sort of length of time you can expect to recover in?
I'm waiting for the ultrasound to see what happened and what needs to be fixed. So on Tuesday I will know what kind of surgery I need to I need to have. So things that happen, you know. The production was great. People loved it. How it turned out, I did not expect it was going to be this good. I put my heart in it. And the main topic of this event was to gather as much people as possible for the Malta wrestling community, which that worked. Because although I got injured before the match, I was so concentrated about the match, and after the match I was in pain, so I did not see that much. But then after I calmed down and I was looking at the crowd, go and take pictures with all these amazing athletes and professional athletes, so yeah, in a way, yeah, I succeeded. That was my target, and it worked, you know. And I was feeling very, very happy that all these people were there because of me, because I pushed this this event, because it's a very, very rare opportunity for us to have this kind of event. I don't know if I'm able to do it again. For now, no, that's 100%. I'm not able, but at least we enjoyed every minute of it, and I don't regret any of what happened apart of my snapping bicep on round one. But it is where it is. I read many comments that Giannis should have stopped the match. No, man. I think if there is anyone who I can blame is myself, because I put myself in that position. It's not because I got injured against BOZHIDAR. It's because in that position you can get injured with anyone. So I don't blame anybody. So it is what it is, you know. So I thank all the fans that had their time to watch the event. Without the fans, without any of you, with all your help, this event couldn't be a reality, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
Yeah,
Kirsten, I wanted to say, man, we're all interested in your story now. So don't stop. Don't think that this is the end of the line for you, man. It's something that I know personally, and I know everyone who's just watched. We were so impressed with what we saw, and we want to see the road to recovery. We want to see your journey. I think what you've done is amazing. The effort you put in, you stepped it up to a level that literally every promoter can learn from what you did. So well done. And your story as an arm wrestler is a long way from over, man. So keep it up.
Yeah, only warming up, mate. Only warming up. What is the sort of prognosis, mate? What have they said to you about your recovery? What's the extent of the damage? Is the bicep going to be?
They don't know yet. They don't know yet. They are waiting for the ultrasound.
So you've not really got any.
I was late, and there was no doctor apparently that manages the ultrasounds, and they made me an appointment for tomorrow or Tuesday.
Okay.
So I have to wait another 2 days. To be honest, I want to heal as fast as possible to get back on training on table. I know it's going to be a long road now.
Yep.
I know that to get where I was more than 24 hours ago, like 26 hours ago, was going to take me a year, possibly, or nearly. It depends on how fast my recovery is going to be. But lots of arm wrestlers reached out at me and told me that they had this injury before and they came out stronger.
Yep.
So maybe this was what I've been waiting for to get stronger, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Kirsten, I know you're probably not seeing it, but like when you got on, the comments were lighting up in support of your event and you in general. So I know those live comments go away. I just want to pass that along and echo what Ryan said. We're all behind you. And I have a feeling that you're the type of dude who's not going to be wavered by this challenge at all. Unfortunately, guys, I got to drop. But I just wanted to say that to Kirsten before I drop out. You guys, I got to run. Have a blessed day. Thanks for having me as always.
It's Paul speaking. Just for everybody in the chat, we're going to be on here for around 10 minutes max. So don't send any more super chats, guys. We're only going to be on here for a little while. And thank you, everybody that's super chatted tonight. Really do appreciate it. Helps us a massive amount. We got Mr. Proteins with a super chat. He's put, can Tom Stoltman or Mark Felix contend in Arm Wars? To be honest, both those guys being as active as they are on the circuit right now probably prevents that, because they're very, very active. I mean, obviously, in Tom's case, he's the current reigning world's strongest man and Britain's strongest man. I'm sure that he can do anything from a strength perspective that he wants to do. And should he ever want to transition over, that would be great. One thing I will say is that we are currently working on a match for Arm Wars 2022 later this year. So September would be the time of the match where Lawrence Charley, of former World Strongman fame, would face Rob Frampton, also former World's Strongest Man competitor. So two guys that are transitioning over to the sport of arm wrestling, both with limited experience, both going to dedicate themselves shortly to getting ready for that match. I spoke to both lads last night. They're both up for it. Lawrence Charley versus Rob Frampton. back end of 2022 in Arm Wars, and that should be really interesting.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great to see that guys from other strength sports are really starting en masse to show an interest in our sport. I think it's super positive. Larry's done a great deal in that respect, and there's genuinely a buzz. I mean, a while back on Voice of Arm Wrestling, Ivor Schmugstelis, another top-level strongman, was pulling over there with these guys. Again, Ivor's showed that genuine interest. Iron Bibby is another one. And there's more. And this is fantastic for the sport that we're starting to get that crossover, you know. When they see Ray's shirt, that's going to go up a level again.
That's the crossover.
That's what's created that crossover, and I think it's a wonderful thing. And we've all got a lot of thanks to give to Ray for that, because seeing the shirt, combining it with a belt, that's what it's all about.
And he'll receive that video I showed before, from starting with all music introduction of Ray's belt and shirt combo and glass of wine. Did you saw that video?
I did see that video, and it was the reason that I had to sleep on my back last night.
Oh yeah. I was working hard and shoot it especially for you.
It was a fantastic video. It was well shot, well presented.
3 hours, just 3 hours.
Yeah.
So not, right angles, everything else.
I've missed it. Is that on YouTube or Facebook? Where is it?
I'll send it you, mate. It's good. It's in the private collection. Taking it in shower in a bit, a couple of hours.
It's in the heart.
So, Mythagoras with a very pertinent super chat. He's put, why is nobody calling out Marcio?
Because they frayed.
Yeah.
As they should be.
Yeah, because Marcio.
I'm calling out Marcio.
Serious individual.
I'm calling out Marcio.
I am not calling out Marcio.
You can have Marcio. Marcio is one of the most underrated, below the radar guys the sport has ever seen. He's absolutely lethally dangerous. The guy is very well-rounded, very explosive, very table savvy, super experienced. He's got all the boxes ticked. I'm going to go back to a super chat we had not long ago, and you want to know a match that I want and I'm working on in my mind. So people have said, you put matches together and how early do you start working on them? Well, one that I am working on in my own mind is Chef Shedis, Marcio Barboza. That's the match that I really like because Sandris is a very intelligent puller, good on both arms. I actually think that's a step up a little bit for Sandris.
Absolutely.
Gives him another hurdle, which I know Sandris will warm to, because Sandris beats a lot of people. I also like Sandris and John Brzenk. I think that's quite interesting.
We like that too.
I love that match. I think Chef Shedis, and John is very interesting. So I also think Chef Shedis is nice with Todd Hutchins. There's a number of matches out there, but two that I really like: Chef Shedis with Marcio, Chef Shedis with John. Love both those matches. I like it. So we'll see. Conversations will start shortly, and I'd like to see those guys get in the mix. Now, going back to Ryan, dream matches, mate. What's your dream match? What would you like to see?
As in for me or for Marcio?
No, for you, mate. We didn't go around and say what everybody wanted from what was your...
There's a long list. So all of them. I'm super excited about BOZHIDAR. I'm super excited. RVJ has to be done. I want to face Bama Bull again just to complete that story. There's Dan Mosier. We need to sort that out. There's Paul Lynn. I'd love to just grip up with Paul again. There's any number of pullers. Like, my dream matches are just all of them. Literally all of them. Give me all of them.
What about squeezing that lemon?
Yeah, exactly. I forgot about Brendan.
Mate,
that was meant to happen in the WAL. I was 10 days away from getting on a plane before coronavirus kicked up, and yeah. So yeah, sure, all of them.
Dude, Rolly Ray, dream match, mate.
Me versus Laletin. Yeah, him on a riser, and we start in a hook.
In that shirt, you can't lose.
Yeah, I get it's stronger than Saluyev.
Hey, joking
aside, is it elasticated, that shit?
Yes.
Surely now there's going to be problems for Vitaly to get out of Russia, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the sanctions now with the international travel and the Russian.
Okay, I'm changing my answer to who's the main guy at 55 kilos? I don't care.
Any 55, any world class 55.
No dream matches. No dream.
What about matches that you really want to see though that are exciting out there for you now?
You're making them. Engin's making them. So I'm good.
Thompson, who have you got?
Yeah, as far as matches that I want to see, Brzezinski versus Hutchings, I think that will satisfy a big itch that a lot of the internet has, at the very least. I also have been in touch since last night's debut of my number two, my second appearance on Arm Wars episodes. I was contacted by a man who really thinks he has a good shot at David Bradford.
Oh,
and I think it's interesting that we could maybe get some Canadian revenge from the one and only beer man, Evan Burgoyne.
When we get to me, that's the match I want to see.
Yeah, I like that match a lot. I think that could be really good.
Yeah,
left-handed.
Yeah, well, obviously Dave prefers the. I mean, to be fair, they could go both arms.
They could. Yeah, they could.
They could go both arms. And what's most interesting about that is that Evan is losing weight.
Yeah.
So
he'll be down around. I think he will be down around David's similar weight,
around that 220-ish mark. Where is he now? Like 242-ish.
Somewhere in there.
He's aiming for 220. So yeah, that could happen.
I like it. I like that a lot.
It's an interesting match. There's no doubt about it. It is an interesting match, and obviously Jason likes that match too. So that was the one.
Very much so.
Let's say that's not on the cards, though, mate. What else? What other matches would trip your trigger at the moment? What are you really keen to see?
Hutchings and Brzezinski.
That's the one. Say one that's coming up that I really like. Genuinely, I think Ron Bath and Paul Lynn's going to be interesting. I think that's interesting as hell. I really do. I think that's a very, very interesting match. And the other big question that's got to pop up now, let's say that the situation with Vitali, I think probably is going to prevent him from traveling, and we can pretty much bank on that. And we're going to wrap up the show in a minute and leave this thought with you. What does that do for Alex Kadetcha in terms of he's going to be redundant from a match right now, and where will he pop up next? Because I'm pretty sure he'll want to be active. So bearing in mind and touching all the wood around that we don't see an escalation or even a long-term continuation of the situation we're seeing right now with Ukraine and Russia. And I wish with all the heart that stops, that wraps up from everybody on the show. We want to see the end of that as quickly as possible. If that is the case, in the short term, I wonder whether we'll see sort of a new read for direction from Alex, because a lot of guys out there he could still get mixed up with, and there'd be interesting matches. You know, I know everybody wanted to see the Lalatin match, but probably not on the table or on the cards for a while. So that puts Alex into that sort of free agent realm again, and I wonder where or who he'd show up to pull next. We will leave. Guys, we're going to wrap up the show there because we've been on for a long time. I'm going to let these guys get some sleep. I want to say thank you very much to all my guests for coming on the show tonight, all the Fix crew. Get over, check out Ryan Blue Bowen, pound for pound. You can go over there for everything, for attire, for equipment, handles, straps, you name it. You can get it 15% off with the code Supernatural. Get yourself over to pound for pound. You can probably buy a light like that one that you can put in your house. You're going to be selling the neon signs there, Ryan? Should do.
No. They're not my expertise. Just handing out fingers to trolls and arm wrestling lessons to anyone else. I don't know where I'm going. I got my mind on other things. I'm trying to send a super chat at the same time, Neil. You just threw me off guard.
No worries, mate. We actually just had a super chat pop in now. Serginho has just come in with a last minute here, and he's put, sorry for the tricky super chat, Neil. This one is just to say thanks to the boys for making all our Sunday nights better. I'm rooting for you, Ryan, against Bodgy. Thanks for making it happen and enjoy, buddy. So Serginho with a super chat there. Thanks, mate. And thanks for supporting the channel with your super chat. Really appreciate it there. Remember, guys, if you have not already been over to the new Arm Wars channel, please get over there, check it out. We really need your support. We're putting everything in there. JCJ Wank over there is absolutely ruined. He's been up for days in between trying to do his little bit of training himself to crack some wrists. He's been doing a great job. Put together the edit. The latest one to come out is our very own John Thompson. And he is pulling David Bradford. Get over, check out that film. Pretty fascinating little story. If you don't know about David Bradford, that's going to give you some insight there as well. Remember to go over and check out Rolly Ray Live Pins, the voice of arm wrestling. Yanis Amelin's the Jedi in the Mother Fluffing House, 4-time world champion. Guy you can see, he'll give you tips on haircuts and lots of other things. And for the next time we see you here, oh, also, Kirsten, mate, you need to be coming on here again and telling us how you go with that operation, and when you do find out what's going on with it, how long it's going to be before we see you back in the sport. And once again, on behalf of everybody, great effort, mate.
Thank you, man. I hope I get a speedy recovery. You know, this won't be the last time you're gonna see me on the table for sure.
Lad, that's the way, mate. If you're not subscribed to Uncle John Thompson's Uncle John's Arm Wrestling channel, you should be. It's where it all goes down. Take a good look at this man. He's losing weight on a weekly basis. He may look different next week, and he's off to Winter Blast imminently, I believe. When is it, mate?
March 12th. But guess where I'm going 2 days before? An undisclosed location to meet the one and only Cobra Rhodes.
Nice work, Cobra Rhodes. You're going to be doing some cooking,
cleaning, all the essentials.
Because you're going straight to Winter Blast, so I'm assuming you're not going to do any arm wrestling there.
No pulling with Cobra, but a lot of philosophy. He's going to teach me how to be a true pimp. That's what he promised. So I'm looking forward to it.
So we may see a very different mustache.
That's awesome.
We'll see Uncle John. One more shout out
to
your
chalice.
Survivor. Ladies and gents, Western greatest beef jerky in the world. www.westernsurvivor.ca. Get over there, check it out. You will be converted. And if you want the chat to go on,
don't send me any.
ARMWrestlingForums.com. Get over there, keep the chat going, ladies and gents. If this is your first time on Supernatural Strength channel, please like, share, subscribe, tell everybody about it. Until we see you next time here on The Fix. Take it easy, peeps. We are clear.